And what we're going to do is we're going to look at the track, if you like, of C-14 as a tank and see the ground that it actually covered before it too comes to an end. Now, this is the corner of the wood. So literally on the other side of the wood, we're back on this is still the Comballs Road, looking towards Comballs, but we're now got Bully on the left, the long panhandle, and we've got the saucepan on our right of Lousy Wood. And of course, just in the middle of the picture there, the little white sign and arrow indicating left would take you to the lone grave of Major Dickens. So easy to find if you come back. You just go off that up that track, and that would take you to where the Kensingtons helped the London Scottish out on the 9th of September. So C-14 started from this position here, just sitting at the side, and its objective was also called the Green Line, but it was going up along the panhandle of the saucepan. So by use of this bit of footage here, we can see the panhandle on our right-hand side. So now as we move forward, Lousy Wood is behind us, Guillemont out on our left, and the objective of C-14 was to go to the head of the handle, if you like, and then from there it became confusing because just an hour and a half before the start line of 6:30, Second Lieutenant Arnold is given new orders. And I can imagine that an hour and a half before, having done preparations for what is the most secret of events, in the dark, having readied yourself and your men, he was given new orders. So having got to this point, which is at the top of the wood, he starts to swing the tank round. And this is coming back round. That's looking out towards Comballs. And this is the top of the wood at Bully Wood. And this is the view now that he would have seen looking back. This is the ground that he came over, and now we're looking back down the panhandle towards the saucepan, and you can see his very start point on the horizon on the right-hand edge of the wood. That's where he started from. So his original orders were to come up in the track that is basically between that start point and here, and then it was to turn to the right and kind of join up with C-16. However, an hour and a half before, he's given slightly confusing orders saying that he should then go to the left, to the west, to aid the 6th Division and their efforts on the left flank. So whether he's confused or decides that he's going to stay on this this area, we don't know. But what we know is that he went up and down this field at least twice, but possibly 3 times. Again, Trevor Pidgeon's book is amazing in its detail. And eventually it slips into a trench, having fired thousands of rounds into the wood as he goes, causing mayhem to the defending Germans. But somewhere in this fold in the ground just ahead of you, he slips into a shell hole and gets stuck. And I think we'll hear from the crew, Gunner Bernard, about what happens.
Second Lieutenant Arnold asked for volunteers to get out and try and dig the car out. 3 others and myself got out and made a start. The shell hole into which we had slid was connected to a trench which held German bombers. After 10 minutes of digging, a grenade landed at Corporal Pattinson's feet. He picked it up to throw it back, but it exploded in his hand, killing him. Gunner Williams and I rushed the Germans and came around a traverse just as a German was about to throw another bomb. I shot him twice with my revolver, then returned to the car. Gunner Winter had now been wounded too. Second Lieutenant Arnold then went to try and get help, and while he was away we took 2 machine guns and gave them the odd burst to let them know we were still awake. I was potting away with my revolver through the loopholes. The enemy continued to shell us and gave us a very warm time. It was 4 p.m. when it was agreed that we would abandon the car. We jammed the guns and got back to Second Lieutenant Arnold and the infantry nearby, who had joined up some shell holes with trenching. We stayed there until long after dark and got back behind our lines at 11 p.m. I later found out that as well as Corporal Pattinson being killed, Gunners Ritchie and Giles also died later.